Hi everyone. Welcome back to a new episode. As you could tell, probably by our setup today, we are back opening more cards. So these are Legends of Indy cards. I actually have 8 packs of these, but we're only doing 4 today because there's 10 cards per pack, and I figured opening 80 cards in one go would be too much. So we're doing half and then we'll do the other half sometime. I don't know. So these, like I said, are Legends of Indy cards. I have no idea what's going to be in here, but it does say look for randomly packaged autographed cards by Rick Mears. So we might find some cool stuff. Hey, Pericles, what's up? Happy Friday. Um, okay, wait, I think I said on here somewhere what year these were from. Oh, it says 1992. Um, it also says win a trip for two to the 1992 Indy 500. Oh man, that's so funny. Um, so I think let's just get into it. These are like a different, slightly more plasticky, uh, like outer packaging than the other ones. Oh, this is gonna be interesting to open. Ooh, I should have got scissors. God, these feel like they're from the 90s. The way the plastic is opening. Ooh, goodness. Okay. Ooh. I love seeing like the old like ads that are in here. Oh yeah, look. There's the entry form to enter the contest. No, there is no gum in here. I opened cards recently. How many months ago was it? It's on the YouTube channel. That had gum in it and never again. It's so gross. Oh yeah, no, this is 100% full of lead. 100%. Okay, let's see. Ooh, you could send away for a binder. That's cool. Somehow grosser than the Napster fortune cookie because it just crumbled everywhere. It was from like the 70s. I bought it on eBay. It was they were movie cards from the Sergeant Pepper movie, and my little video of it is on the YouTube channel, but it went everywhere and it was disgusting. Okay. So, oh, these are cool. I like the feel of these. They're not sticking together like a lot of the other cards do. They're more like cardboardy almost and not like super coated. So it says 1991 action. Then it says 14th Randy Lewis. Um, 1991 Indy 500, 14th place, Randy Lewis. Race laps completed 159. Starting position 31st. Qualifying average 214.565. Qualifying speed rank 30th. Best practice speed 212.329. 1991 prize money earned $150,490. Career Indy 500 earnings, wow, $592,908. Career Indy 500 starts at 5, and then career best finish 14th in 90 and 91. I think I made my face box a little too big. Let me see if I can fix that. I think that's better. Oh, also, I am wearing the most comfortable hoodie, Steve Morris Engines, for anyone in the drag and drive community. 10 out of 10. Best hoodie. Also, he wrecked his car at, not even at sick week. It was like sick week practice. It was like testing. It wasn't even like day one or day zero. It was testing. So he has a little bit of rebuild to do on the wagon. So go buy merch. All right, then we have, well, what happened is one of the trans cooler lines came off and it just got fluid all under the tires and he smacked the wall and then it caught on fire. Although it doesn't, the weirdest thing, I'm telling you, it's so weird. The videos are on his YouTube channel. The inside of the car does not look like it caught on fire at all. No trace of the fire. Only like clear damage from the actual hitting the wall part. It's so strange. Yeah, it was not a good time. He wasn't hurt, everything was fine, but seeing the in-car of the fire is wild. But he shall rebuild. The wagon will reach fives one day. Um, okay. So here we have the 1963 front row. Oh, that's a lot of words. They did not, okay, here's what I appreciate so far about these cards. They did not skimp on the information. Like, look at that. It's so good. Yeah, this is the year that Parnelli Jones won. And this picture was from the pace lap. That's cool. Ooh, okay. Then we have 1991 action. It says Sullivan Smoke. It says the north end of the main straight was completely blocked from view on the leader's 182nd lap of the 1991 Indy 500 when the turbocharger on Danny Sullivan's Alfa Romeo powered car malfunctioned. He had just reached 7th place and was right in front of the new VIP suites when it happened. He was able to steer the car safely at over 200 miles an hour to the inside of the main straight and bring the car to a halt at the south end of the pits, but it took several seconds for the smoke to clear. Yes, absolutely kerblamo. Oh man, that is crazy. That is a lot of smoke. Oh, this is a cool one. It says Janet qualifies. May 22nd, 1977, when Janet Guthrie became the first female driver to ever qualify for a 500. Says not only did her 188.403 mile an hour 4 lap average stand as the fastest qualifying speed for the day, she was also faster than any of the qualifiers on the previous day as well. Says mechanical trouble eliminated her after only 27 laps of the 1977 race, but she was able to finish ninth the following year. Yeah, I'd always rather have a metric shit ton of smoke than fire. Ooh, this is cool. I like these. I always say that when I look at these, um, yeah, no, cleaning up fluids sucks. It doesn't matter what it is or what you're doing, it sucks. Because they don't all react the same. They're not all easy to clean up. Yeah, no fire is usually the good option. Um, oh God, yeah. A couple years ago, I was refreshing my generator right before winter and like storm season. I got non-detergent oil all over my hands. That shit sucks. It does not want to come off the skin. 0 out of 10 experience. Don't recommend. Um, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I really like the difference in seeing how the old liveries were, I guess, like saturated color-wise compared to now. Um, so this one says 1991 action, Willie T. Ribs, 32nd. He's got a McDonald's livery. And it makes me want a McFlurry. I haven't had McDonald's in, gosh, years at this point. 1991 Indy 500, 32nd place. Um, race laps completed, 5. I'm assuming engine failure because it says engine. Starting position 29th, qualifying average 217.358, qualifying speed rank 23rd, best qualifying speed, I'm sorry, best practice speed 215.543, 1991 prize money $147,719, and same for career Indy 500 earnings. Career Indy 500 starts 1, and then this was obviously best finish. Yes, his Dinner with Racers episode is great. I really liked when he was doing oh God, SRX. Jesus. It was fun to see him behind the wheel again, and then the next season to see him doing like commentary and stuff. Okay. Next we have more 1991 action. Um, it says Hiro Matsushita 16th. I know, me too. I understand why, I guess, they're taking the year, but it's such a fun, like, part of summer now. I support the hashtag. Okay. 1991 Indy 500, 16th place. Hiro Matsushita. Laps completed. Okay, well, less repair bills if there's no Paul Tracy. Think about it that way. So maybe we just blame Paul Tracy. Laps completed 149, starting position 24th, qualifying average 218.141, um, qualifying speed rank 19th, best practice speed 216.570, 1991 prize money 145,891. Same for career Indy 500 earnings, as this was his first career Indy 500 start. Oh, yeah, no, we can't blame everything on him, just like 87% of it. What's this? Director card? Oh. Oh, that just says what's in here. I don't want to see everything, so I'm gonna put that over there. All right, then we have 1991 action. Rick Mears, a four-time winner. It says, a happy Rick Mears stands up in the cockpit of his car at the conclusion of 1991's 75th running of the Indy 500. It's the fourth Indianapolis win, tying him with AJ Foyt and Al Unser for the record of having won the Indy 500 the most times. Um, his first, that's not bad. It says his first place prize of $1,219,704 brings his total Speedway earnings from 14 consecutive starts since 1978 to that's a lot, 4,162,989, which is more than $1.3 million greater than the amount Al Unser has amassed as the Speedway's second highest earner. See, this is crazy compared to the numbers today. I would actually love to see like a match um, since Elio has joined the four-time club, like dollar wise. Then we have more 1991 action. We have Bobby Rahal, 19th. It says 1991 Indy 500, 19th place. Laps completed 130 before his engine failed. Starting position 4th. Qualifying average 221.401. Qualifying speed rank 8th. Best, wow, best practice speed 226. It's pretty good. 1991 prize money $153,741. Career Indy 500 earnings $1,762,463. Career Indy 500 starts 10, and career best finish would be first when he won in 1986. And the last card in this first pack is the, gosh, my nose is running. 1968 Pace Lap. I don't know what has been going on with my sinuses this week, but they're like taking a break or something because I have been so stuffed up and so sneezy. Okay, it says 1968 Pace Lap. Down, I know, not even spring yet. It's like hay fever came early. It says down for the start of the pace lap in 1968. There were only 2 pre-race laps in those days rather than the 3 of today. The 33 starters were almost perfectly aligned. On the pole is new track record holder Joe Leonard, while next to him is 1966 winner and eventual 2-time world champion Graham Hill. They are driving wedge-shaped Lotuses with rear-mounted gas turbine engines. Neither will finish. Leonard dropping out while leading with 9 laps to go. Bobby Unser, outside front row, will sweep by to win his first of 3 500s. And that is pack number 1. I think that was pretty good. Kind of destroyed the outer packaging, so I don't know if I can get that back in there. Oh, one thing I didn't notice when I opened these, it says information provided by IMS, narratives by noted historian Donald Davidson. So there we go. All facts, no crap, I guess. Alright, pack 2. I don't know why I think I can open that like that. Ooh, that one was better. That one was much better to open. Oh, it's stuck. It's less ASMR opening these ones because they're not crinkly. Alright. First card in pack 2 says 2 tough Texans. Any guesses before I say who it is? I wouldn't have guessed the second one. So. Alright, it says 2 tough Texans. AJ Foyt won his third of 4 poles in 1974, while Johnny Rutherford, the second fastest qualifier, did not establish his time trial until a later session, and therefore had to start back in 25th position. In an incredible charge to the front, Rutherford was 18th at the end of the first lap, 14th at 2 laps, and 9th at lap 3. He was 4th by 10 laps and 3rd at 11 laps. Later on, Rutherford battled back and forth for the lead with Foyt until Foyt had to retire at 142 laps. Rutherford led all but 1 lap from that point on to win his first 500. Yeah, I didn't get Johnny Rutherford. I don't know his history well enough, clearly. Alright, this one says Donahue wins. Says Mark Donohue, the 1969 500 Rookie of the Year and the 1970 race runner-up, was a clear favorite to win both the pole and the race in 1971. He managed neither. Okay. Oh man. Being edged from the pole by Peter Revson and being forced out of the race by transmission failure while enjoying a huge lead at 66 laps. He remained in contention throughout the 1972 race, however, swapping the lead with Jerry Grant in the late stages and taking over for the final time with 12 laps remaining. He averaged 162.96 what? He averaged 162.962 mile an hour for the 500 miles, establishing a record that would not be broken for over 12 years. Not bad. All right, this one says famous smokestack. I love when we can learn a little bit. I'm learning so much. Says on his way to victory. I know, right? That's one of the things that I always pick up on when I'm reading through cards, even if they're just like from the early 90s, is everything seems so slow. We've come so far with speeds and racing since then. Um, oh yeah. It says on his way to victory in 1963, Parnelli Jones, oh yeah, is seen racing out of turn one and past a famous old landmark, the Presto Light smokestack, located across the street from the south end of the racetrack grounds. Built in 1912/1913, 4 years after the track opened, the Presto Light factory was owned by Carl Fisher and James Allison, two of the original partners in the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. They sold Presto Light to Union Carbide in 1917, but all the way from pre-World War I days until the 1960s, drivers during practice and even during the race itself would glance at smoke pouring out of the stack and use it as a windsock. Oh, that's really smart. It was utilized less and less in the 70s, but remained a landmark nevertheless. Sadly, the stack was pulled down during the summer of 1990. I was gonna say, I've never seen it before. But that is super smart to use it as a windsock. Ooh, this is a cool one. It says 1991 action. Illustrious front row. Rarely has there ever been a front row for a 500 like there was in 1991. On pole for a record sixth time was Rick Mears, who was just 3 hours away from becoming the Speedway's third four-time winner. Next to him was the legendary A.J. Foyt, a four-time pole winner and the first to win the Indy 500 four times. On the outside was 1969 winner and three-time pole sitter Mario Andretti, the 1978 F1 world champion. The three combined for an unbelievable 74 total 500 starts. Mears, Foyt, Andretti, three of racing's most illustrious names. I mean, that is pretty freaking cool. Like, I would get this picture blown up and framed because that's really cool. It is absolutely stacked. What is the equivalent of that today? Like, who could we say would be super impressive on a front row together? I feel like it would be like Elio, Dixie, and who else? Hmm. Think about that one for a minute. Yeah, maybe TK. I'm not laughing because I don't think it's true. I'm laughing because I'm mad at him. But yeah, it would definitely be TK. It's fine. Everything's fine. I have yet to see a randomly autographed card. I hope there's one in here. Ooh, yeah. Newgarden would be a good one. More 1991 action. Rick Mears first. 1991 Indy 500, first place, Rick Mears. Started first. Had a qualifying average of 224.113. Qualifying speed rank second. Best practice speed 226.569. We talked about prize money from that year. We talked about earnings already. Career Indy 500 starts 14. Career best finish first in 79, 84, 88, 91. We have more 1991 action with Jeff Brabham, 20th. It's even so crazy to see how much the stance of the cars has changed. Oh god, hiccups are coming back. No. Okay. Oh, that might help. 1991 Indy 500, 20th place, Jeff Brabham. Laps completed, 109. Had to drop out due to electrical issues. Starting position, 22nd. Qualifying average, 214.859. Qualifying speed rank, 28th. Best practice speed, 218.547. 1991 prize money, $136,491. Career Indy 500 earnings, $768,151. Career Indy 500 starts 9, and career best finish 4th, 1983. I like how this one just says, Victory Circle, baby. It says, while there has never been an accounting of the ages of every... Do you guys hear that? Um, Pause for station identification. What is shaking my house? Ah, the CH-47. I mean, it's a nice day. If I'm the military, I would fly low close to people's houses too. It's not that I'm not used to it, but typically during this time, it's not when I'm used to it. Um, literally. I'm hoping now, this is just like a me thing to say, but I do live in a very military heavy state and I live in a traffic pattern. Um, I'm hoping now that the weather is going to start getting better that we'll see more planes. Because helicopters happen every day, but I want to see growlers. Um, where was I? Oh yeah. It says while there has obviously never been an accounting of the ages of every person who has ever entered any of history's various victory areas, there can be no question that by far the youngest ever had to have been Bobby and Debbie Rahall's baby in 1986. This was the first year that Victory Circle um, oh, that's cute. It says this was the first year that Victory Circle comprised the elevating platform on the pit lane, and shortly after it had risen into the air, someone handed the baby up to the Rahals. It was another very special 500 moment. Yeah, it's like we have all the things. It's like all the military. So it's just fun. And I grew up on like the air show circuit, so it's something that I'm like super into besides like the racing stuff. All right, we have more 1991 action. AJ's 34th. You know, I do see, because obviously, like, growlers and stuff are more up north, but I do see a good number of, like, C-17s. And I love that for me. It says this is the 90s. uh, if you can smoke it or you can drink it, it was on the side of a race car. Says the amazing AJ Foyt added to another of his numerous records at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in 1991, and this particular achievement will probably never be broken by anyone except AJ himself. He started his 34th consecutive 500, having missed not a single one for any reason since his 1958 debut. That's pretty fucking crazy. That's a lot of racing. Mario Andretti, who has the second greatest number of starts, 26 through 1991, did not start in 1979. Al Unser drove in 21 consecutive 500s between 1970 and 1990, but was not in the 1991 lineup. In this photograph, AJ has just thrilled the crowd by qualifying for the middle of the front row at over 222 miles an hour and is being congratulated by Tony George, president of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Hmm. Yeah, that too. Oh, look, more tobacco sponsorship. 1991 action, AJ Foyt Jr., 28. 1991 Indy 500, 28th place, AJ Foyt Jr. Race laps completed, 25 due to suspension damage. Starting position second, qualifying average 222.443, qualifying speed rank sixth, best practice speed 223.925, 1991 prize money 153,591, career Indy 500 earnings $2,448,080. Career in That's really funny that they put these cards next to each other like that. And then the four wins in 61, 64, 67, and 77. Did I show you guys the back of that already? Okay, if we're gonna start saying things like phrasing, I'm gonna have to get some archery emotes. This one just says balloons. It's the last it's the last card in the pack and it just says balloons. It says the release into the air of thousands of balloons during the singing of the song Back Home Again in Indiana, shortly before the start of the race, took on a slightly different appearance in 1987. For the first time, not one, not two, but three tents were used. The inflation of the helium-filled balloons is quite an undertaking, commencing on the afternoon before the race and lasting far into the night. Residents from miles around who do not attend the race nevertheless step into their yards shortly before the start in order to watch for this spectacular sight. Balloons! The helium-filled kind, not the Chinese spy kind. Okay, I think we're doing good so far. We're getting a lot of cool stuff. Well, it depends where the balloons finish. Oh. Oh, the second one was so easy to open. This one is not. Poor F-22s. They're like my favorite plane. Okay. Pack number 3, let's go. 1991 action. Michael Andretti, second. 1991 Indy 500, second place, Michael Andretti. Race laps completed, all of them. Starting position 5th, average qualifying speed 220.49. Yeah, nope. 220.943. Qualifying speed rank 9th. Best practice speed 225.994. 1991 prize money $607,753. Career Indy 500 earnings $1,554,922. Career Indy 500 starts 8. Best career finish 2nd. Oh man. This one says poor old Rube. It says popular Lloyd Ruby, who led 5 of the 6 500s between 1966 and 1971, only to be forced out or hampered by mechanical problems, had his greatest disappointment of all in 1969. He went into the lead when Mario Andretti made a stop for fuel at 102 laps, then came in himself 4 laps later. Due to a misunderstanding of hand signals, he began to inch forward while one of the 2 refueling hoses was still connected. The hose. Oh no. Uh oh. I read ahead. Oh no. Okay, I do agree though. 10 out of 10 captions on these cards. Oh no. So basically what happened is the hose got super tight as he's like driving away. Then it almost ripped a hole in the side of the fuel tank and allowed the fuel to pour out. Oh goodness. Says the car, otherwise running perfectly, was out, and the luckless Ruby had to wait another year. Yeah, that's a big O. Oh my gosh. Someone says 1911 lineup. What the heck? I could go for a sandwich. I never really have time. I say this every single time, I swear to God, but I don't really have time to eat, like sit down and actually eat lunch a lot of times before I stream. I'm always just like snacking, and then I'm like, oh, actually kind of hungry now. Okay, this says this is the scene a few minutes before the pace lap of the very first Indy 500 in 1911, and what may very well have been the first mass rolling start for any automobile race anywhere in the world. It may also have marked the first use of a pace car, since races at the time almost universally employed standing starts. On the right of the picture is the Stoddard Dayton pace car to be driven by Carl Fisher, who conceived the idea of the speedway and who was the track's first president. Note that there are 4 cars next to him, but 5 in the subsequent rows. 4 abreast starts were used from 1913 until the current 3 abreast start was introduced in 1921. And that's your Indy 500 history. It says Stoddard Dayton. Let me type it out. Hmm. Oh, interesting. This one says relief drivers. Interesting. It says from the very early days of the 500 until the mid 1950s, the use of a relief driver was extremely common. Hours of pounding on the brick surface combined with the intense heat from the front-mounted engines would tend to fatigue a driver, causing him to seek relief by signaling to his pit, usually by tapping his helmet with one hand as he went by. It says here is Tony Bettenhausen in 1955 turning his car over as prearranged to his longtime friend Paul Russo, who had failed to qualify for the race. Tony later returned to the cockpit and finished the race in second place. No change of driver has taken place in any 500 since 1977. Well, there you go. It's a team sport. I know, right? I feel we're all learning so much. I genuinely had no idea. I think one time Emu asked me if that was a thing in IndyCar, and I was like, I don't think that's ever happened. Apparently it has. This one says Revson's upset. Oh, that's interesting. Oh gosh. This is a long one. It says Team McLaren built 4 new cars for the 1971 500, each featuring a rear wing molded into the engine cover. One of the cars had been made available to the Penske team for Mark Donohue to drive, and after some modifications, Mark began breaking the unofficial track record on a daily basis. He wound up lapping at almost 181, nearly 10 miles an hour above the official record. When he went out to qualify, however, his team refused to give him a particular wing setting he had asked for, and he recorded a disappointing 177.087 miles an hour. About 1.5 hours later, just as the pole was being conceded to Donohue, in spite of everything, Pete Revson, in one of McLaren's own cars, went out and apparently with a oh um and apparently with a perfect setting recorded 178.696 miles an hour, surprising everyone at the track, including Revson. Drama! I read ahead sometimes and I get very invested in the little notes. This one says 1991 action. Scott Goodyear, 27. No, it's funny because obviously being in the business of journalism, we find out a lot of stuff ahead of time. And I don't I can't have like outward reactions to things like to people sometimes. So in my head, if I'm reading something, I do that exact thing. I'm like, "Oh." All right, this one says 1991 Indy 500, 27th place, Scott Goodyear. Race laps completed, 38 due to engine failure. Starting position, 12th. Qualifying average, 216.751 miles an hour. Qualifying speed rank, 24th. Best practice speed, 219.149. 1991 prize money, $127,791. Career Indy 500 earnings, $274,761. Career Indy 500 starts, 2. Career best finish, 10th in 1990. Ooh, we have 2 left in this pack. Yeah, sometimes it'd be like that. It's gonna be like, well, make it zazzy. It's like, how can I jazz hands in the form of words? Ooh, this says Ferrari at Indy. Plenty of international flavor. Graced the 1952 500. Okay, who's the guy that wrote these? Because I would like a word. Donald Davidson. Ooh, that's super cool. I need to go to the museum. One of these years is gonna happen. Yeah, no, not right now. I'm not gonna take you guys with me and be like casually booking a flight. Oh, well, I knew that. Let me make my joke. I know the actual facts. That's why I said one of these days. Okay, that is a bannable offense, sir. You have to laugh at my jokes. I'm the streamer. um, I'm just staring at this card. There's nothing even happening. Um, Plenty of international flavor graced the 1952 500 when come what? When coming world champion Alberto Ascari qualified a V12 Ferrari for the starting field. Entirely unfamiliar with oval track racing, the non-English speaking Ascari adapted himself very well. He qualified at a very respectable 134.308 miles an hour to start 19th and worked his way to ninth at 40 laps when one of his wire wheels, oh no, collapsed from the strain of pounding on the bricked main straight. He made many friends at the track, but while he was entered again in 1953, he withdrew and did not return. Yeah, no, it's not great. Yeah, new drinking game. Oh, hell yeah. This says 1980s pace car, and it's the 1981 pace car. God, have you ever seen anything more 80s? The frickin' Buick. Says a non-turbocharged 4.1 liter V6 two-door Buick Regal paced the 1981 Indianapolis 500. The car lent itself well to pacing duties because it was devoid of the then popular hatch roof. Instead, a single centrally located brace running from the top of the windshield to the rear targa left plenty of room for the race official in the passenger seat to be able to stand up and have visual contact with the drivers in the first few rows behind him. Legendary. Oh, that's cool. It says legendary driver Dennis Duke Nallen, the first, or nope, the two-time pole sitter, 1949 and 1951, was selected as the driver of the pace car. No, this one's not a turbo, which you would think you would. Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, I don't know. I think they just slapped all the decals on it. We're like, eh, can you imagine? All right, 3 of 4 down. Oh, oh no. When I opened that one, apparently I opened the front too, and not just the back. I gave it a 1980s V-neck. I also find it very interesting. The V-look, not the V-neck. I also find it very interesting the evolution of the pace cars. Yeah, no. Optional drinking game. No, this is fine. All right, last pack. Let's go. Can you imagine? We've been doing this for an hour. Can you imagine if I decided to open all 8? We would be here until tomorrow. And I'm not trying to do a 24-hour stream. Ooh, the wrecked pace car. Oh my God. Okay, some of you guys already know this, but I didn't even, just before we start this, I didn't even tell you guys what happened to me this week. So, on my, um, on the YouTube channel, in my video where I talked about, it was my predictions for the Rolex. Um, for GTD, I picked, when we're racing, I picked 57, and I said the phrase, just, I didn't even think about it, I just said it. I said, I believe in the power of Daniel Morad. You know, said it, post the video on my YouTube channel, whatever. A couple days ago, it was Sunday night, I think, I was checking because we have a specific email for the podcast and YouTube and all the things. We have business email. I was checking it, and there was a comment on that video from Morad, and he was like, "Oh, somebody sent me this," and blah blah blah, and I was like, "Oh my God," and my first thought was, "Who tattled on me? Who told him that I said that?" And then on like Monday, I find out that he talked about that moment and about me on his Twitch stream, and I'm like, what is happening? So I went, I watched the VOD, I screen recorded it, and then I was like really debating because I posted it on my social media and I was really debating because we do run in like similar circles, like iRacing and Twitch circles, and we have interacted before. And I was debating on whether or not to go in and tell him that it was me. So I went into a stream, he was still streaming, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna like say it. So I was like, a little bird told me that you were talking about me. I was like, I'm the one that said I believe in the power of Daniel Morad. And he goes, oh my God, Kyra, it was you. And we had like a whole conversation about it, but everyone in his stream was so nice. And apparently they were talking about me in their esports like group chat. So that happened. And I know there's a couple of them that came over and followed on Twitch and on YouTube. So hello to anyone from Morad's stream. And that happened. I think I forget sometimes that when I say things, people can see it because I just say things like, but yeah, I think I've maybe had like one or two interaction with anyone in the M squad, and they've all been great, and but like through like other streamers and stuff when I've been like modding. Um, but I just thought it was so funny because no, that's the thing. The racing community, I always say this, it looks very big, but it is actually very small. So that's the thing that happened to Kyra this week. I still want to know if it was like a random person that just saw it and sent it to him, or if it was one of you or someone in this community who's just not telling me, because that's like the most random thing. But that was wild. Um, yeah, no one has owned up to it so far. Oh, that's so funny. It is always a little bit like shocking. Yeah, you see, I also kind of blame the duck man. So I was like, there's no way that that was just a coincidence. But it was just like a funny story to tell. And like, hey, that happened. Because I told my dad, because I was just like, I always like catch up with him every week. And I'm like, oh, this happened to me. And he was like, how do these things happen to you? And I was like, man, I don't know. Yeah, sometimes the internet can be used for good. So last pack. Here we go. 1991 action. John Paul Jr. 25th. Ooh, it's pink. It's pink and purple. Just like my bedroom when I was 9 years old. Which is not like a dig or anything, but that's just what color it was. um, 1991 Indy 500, 25th place. John Paul Jr. Laps completed 53 due to an oil leak. Starting position 25th. Qualifying average 217.952. Qualifying speed rank 21st. Best practice speed 216.789. 1991 prize money $130,690. Career Indy 500 earnings $349,528. Career Indy 500 starts 3. Career best finish 15th in 1985. No. What even is the sponsor? ATEC? ATEC? I don't know what that is. All right, next we have Dan and Mickey's debut. All right. says greatly inspired by Australian Jack Brabham's ninth place finish with a rear engine. Oh, speaking of Brabham, uh, retirement revoked. Apparently, he said he's going back to racing. So I guess that's a thing. I assume he still has a silver status, but yeah, he said it on Twitter like 2 days ago. I feel like I liked it. What even are my Twitter likes? Let me see if I can find it. FIA licenses are weird. I don't understand how that works. Oh, I lied. It's not Jeff, it's David. And he's doing GT Cup Championship. Said he is retiring from retirement. Created his own hashtag. Hashtag Brabs is back. Anyway, slight departure from what I was talking about. Um, oh yeah. Um, okay. Good to know. I hadn't looked into it yet, but I feel like that makes sense. mm, where was? Oh yeah. I'm just gonna start over. Greatly inspired by Australian Jack Brabham's ninth place finish with a rear-engined British Cooper Climax in the 1961 500, American drag racer AO and land speed and world land speed record um, aspirant Mickey Thompson decided to build some cars for the 1962 race. He arrived with a three-car team of rear-engine cars powered by V8 Buicks. He did not drive himself but utilized a variety of drivers during the month, including American Grand Prix standout Dan Gurney, um, who was making his 500 debut. Dan started eighth in the only one of the Thompson cars to qualify, and he spent a few laps in the top 10 before dropping out at 93 laps with transmission failure. What I'm seeing a lot of on these cards is transmission failure. Doesn't really seem like they had it quite figured out. All right, we have more 1991 action. Uh, Bernard Jourdain, 18th. All right, 1991 Indy 500, 18th place, Bernard Jourdain. Race laps completed 141 due to gearbox issues. Starting position 21st, qualifying average 216.683, qualifying speed rank 25th, best practice speed 220.881, 1991 prize money $148,190, career Indy 500 earnings $290,343, career Indy 500 starts 2, and career best finish 9th in 1989. Quackers, what's up? Welcome to the chaos. We are on our last pack, but we've gotten some bangers so far. I mean, we can make that a thing. You have powers. Make all the commands you want. 1991 action says hero. Hmm, I don't know. Can we define our brand, our particular brand of chaos? All right, it says another notable landmark was made on Saturday, May 18th, 1991, when Hiro Matsushita became the first driver from Japan to qualify for an Indianapolis 500. He qualified with a 4-lap average speed of 218.141 miles an hour and started from the outside of the 8th row in the number 24 position. He was hampered by electrical problems throughout the race and made one pit stop, which lasted over half an hour while changing the battery, spark box, and plugs. He was still in competition when the race ended, however, he was flagged off with 149 laps completed. His finishing position was 16th. Well, I don't know that song, so luckily the earworm has evaded me today. Yeah, we can add that to phrasing. Ooh. Oh, we can probably add this one to phrasing too. 1991 action, Roberto Guerrero, 30th, says, hard to tell, but on the side of the car it says, keep your edge. 1991 Indy 500, 30th place, Roberto Guerrero. Race laps completed, 23 due to accident. Starting position, 28. Average, nope, qualifying average, 214.027. Qualifying speed rank, 31st. Best practice speed, 216.941. 1991 prize money, $125,203. Career Indy 500 earnings, $1,114,464. Career Indy 500 starts, 7. Career best finish, 2nd in 1984 and 1987. Oh, hell yeah. We have another 80s pace car. This is the 1987 pace car. Look at that in all its glory. Hmm. 1987 pace car with a Chrysler LeBaron. The Seinfeld thing? definitely a Seinfeld reference in there somewhere. Uh, Pacing the 1987 Indianapolis 500, it marked Chrysler's first appearance as a pace car by brand name since 1963. This, like the 1984 Pontiac Fiero and the 19... God, the Fiero. What a terrible car. Hmm. Um, and the 1985 Oldsmobile Calais used a four-cylinder engine, but while this one was only oh of 2.2 liters, its turbocharger made it capable of topping 150 miles an hour. The front-wheel drive LeBaron was driven by Carroll Shelby, who shared the winning Aston Martin in the 1959 24 Hours of Le Mans race, and who later produced the Shelby Mustangs and Shelby Cobras, while also managing Ford's winning efforts at Le Mans in 1966 and 1967. God, are there? Wow. There is an episode, actually, I think there's maybe two or three episodes now of the show Faster with Newbern and Cotton on Motor Trend, where they got a Fiero, but it was the kit car version of it that made it look like the Lamborghini Countach, so they called it the Scamborghini, and then they turned it into something else later, and it is so funny and so stupid, and it caught on fire once, and I cannot recommend watching it more. 10 out of 10. We have more 1991 action. We have Jim Crawford, 26th. Yeah, I kind of just have basic commands. I haven't really gotten too much into it, but I am open to the possibilities and more things. Um, 1991, Indy 500, 26th place, Jim Crawford. Uh, Race laps completed 40 due to engine failure. Starting position 8th, qualifying average 218.947. Qualifying speed rank 14th, best practice speed 225.643, 1991 prize money $133,690, career Indy 500 earnings 709,960, career Indy 500 starts 6, and career best finish would be 6th in 1988. Wapa. Ooh, this is cool. It says twin Porsche. It says as you no. As unusual as any car ever to appear at the Indianapolis Speedway was this creation in 1966. It was powered by not one but two Porsche engines, one in front of the driver and one behind. Built by Al Stein of San Francisco, it was based on a car Paul Russo qualified for the front row of the 1946 500. And then it says see cards that don't exist here. um, Unfortunately, this one was not as competitive. Um, and after, um, and after, I'm not making fun of someone's name, I promise. And after driver Bill Cheeseborg was unable to nurse it to qualifying speeds, it was withdrawn and did not return. Well, it's a cool concept for sure, but it sounds like it needed a wee bit more testing. Okay, we have two left. This one says, winning in a t-shirt. Nice. Um, says, although driver uniforms were very much in vogue in the early days of the 500, they began to disappear during the Depression years. A few post-World War II drivers wore uniforms, but most did not. Fire retardant uniforms were strongly recommended in the 1950s, but they did not become mandatory until 1959. Jeez, I can't even imagine getting in a race car of any kind without a full suit on. It says here is Pat Flattery in Victory Lane in 1956, the last driver to win wearing only a bare arm t-shirt and slacks. Note that oil has splattered his slacks, while the intense heat from the front-mounted engine has caused him to drink the bottle of cold milk with considerable enthusiasm. Rubber particles, spits of oil from other cars, and general grime cover his arms and face. Oh, yes. Apparently. I really can't. I mean, and that's barely even a t-shirt. Those sleeves are like up high. Oh. Okay. Last card for today. We have 1991 Action Ovation for AJ. Oh, we are really giving a lot of love to this Copenhagen sponsorship today. It says AJ Foyt made a remarkable recovery from leg and ankle injuries sustained during the end of the 1990 season to qualify for the middle of the front row of the 1991 500. He was eliminated early in the going. Oh. That doesn't count as oh no, I just said oh. Um, flying debris from Roberto Guerrero. Oh, okay. I'm about to be like, because there was a couple, when was it? A couple months ago, Emu and I did one of these together where I opened cards and she was like looking stuff up. And we looked up Kevin Kogan, and basically his whole entire racing history is a giant oh no. So I'm not surprised to see his name in this accident. Um, yes, the stream has not been sponsored by Copenhagen. We have no sponsors, although we would like some sponsors. We have very reasonable rates. So, hi, future sponsors, hit us up. Says flying debris from the Roberto Guerrero Kevin Kogan accident landed squarely on Foyt's left front suspension, knocking it askew. Foyt completed his 25th lap by nursing his crippled machine around the pits and waving with one hand to acknowledge the crowd's heartfelt standing ovation. As he entered the pit lane, even crew members from other teams stepped out ready to applaud him as he passed by. No, I don't want a Copenhagen sponsorship. That does not fit our personal brand of chaos. No, it's not my aesthetic. All right. I think I think we did well. Lots of facts, lots of learning, and we didn't have any repeats. I hope I'm not jinxing us for next time by saying that, because we still do have 4 packs left. Um, I don't know when we're gonna do that. I'm trying to space everything out. So maybe next month-ish? I don't know. We gonna have to see. Literally. Literally all tobacco cars. There's there's an old livery from the early 90s in drag racing. I feel like it was like Miller Lite or something. They had really cool ones when you could advertise those things. I feel like they did them really well. Like the alcohol and tobacco sponsorships, like they were cool looking. Not that I endorse any of it, but y'all are grown adults, you can do whatever you want. Oh, so yeah. I did. Did call you a grown adult. Um, yeah, I think we got, like I said, I think we got some really good ones. Some of these packs, I didn't show you you guys any of the backs of these. You saw the V-neck one that ripped all the way through, but they're the weird plastic doesn't rip very well, so they're a little bit worse for wear, but when I get around to actually putting them like into binders and binder slots, which I'm not going to do until I open all the packs, I like to put like the actual plastic itself at the back and then put the cards in front so I know what it is. So it's not too bad, but they're just not the prettiest to look at. But yeah, an hour and a half is not bad considering the tangent I went off on at multiple points. Uh, Definitely think I made the right decision only opening half because, like I said, we would be here all day and ain't nobody trying to do that. Um, I think I have one more box left from because these are from the big box of cards that Emu gifted me for Christmas. Um, Once we finish the second half of these Legends of Indy ones, um, there's a box kind of like it's like this box. Whoa. Um, Wait, camera, hello. It's like this shape, and there's like 100, I think it's 100, like Andretti racing cards in there, so that will be a thing too. I see that comment and I'm ignoring it. Take your math joke and go sit in the timeout corner. Um, but yeah, lots of things to open still. And knowing me, I will be buying more as the year goes on. I saw something on Twitter yesterday about IndyCar cards from like new ones. The desire to buy those. Uh, I might have to do it. I don't think they're very expensive, but I think it might be a purchase that's necessary because I don't have any, with the exception of this pack of baseball cards from 2023. I don't have any cards that are like new, especially not any racing ones. So I'm surprised they are too. I kind of hope that they're coming back though, because it's super fun. Um, oh, wait a minute. I talked earlier about a pack that I opened that was had gum in it and it was gross. It's these. I forgot I had these over here. It's from 1978. 78? Yeah, it was these ones and yeah, it wasn't super bubble anymore. It was really gross and really hard and kind of the second I touched it just split into a million pieces and it just left a huge mess. So I was like really glad I opened it outside. But yeah, that was these. That was these movie cards. It wasn't even in a wrapper. Like it didn't even have a chance. It was just inside this packet. Like I knew it was gonna be like gross, but I didn't think it was gonna be that gross and in that many pieces. I don't think it held up well to shipping. And I'm gonna literally. Ugh, that pack feels gross. It's like a weird, it was like a weird waxy. Hmm, gross. I feel like I've seen YouTube videos of people just like eating MREs for fun, which kind of terrifies me. Yeah, I imagine they're not. I imagine they don't turn out as intended all the time. Ooh, that's phone lighting. Okay. Um, so I think that that is going to wrap it up for this one. Um, I have to make a thumbnail for this video. Hmm, what do I want it to be? Probably do that tomorrow. Um, I gotta make a thumbnail for this video, and then I'll probably post it on Monday to the YouTube channel because I don't want to post on Super Bowl Sunday because everybody be busy that day. Um, so yeah, hi YouTube when you eventually see this. Um, oh, gross. But yeah, I think that's gonna wrap it up. I want a snack, and now after touching that pack of cards, I want to wash my hands because there is definitely still gum residue on it. Oh yes, of course. Gotta say, gotta say hi to your family at home. Um, when Scott Pruitt did his interview at Daytona this year, I was so hoping he would say it, and when he did, I was so excited. He can never stop saying it now. Um, but yeah, um, this is why it takes me so long to end these videos always. Yeah, I don't know when the next, well, actually, that's not true. I was gonna say, I'm not sure when the next video is, but I'm gonna maybe do one at the end of the month to preview something that we have coming up. NHRA is starting their season at the beginning of March with the Gator Nationals, and we are going to be doing a Drag Race Bracket Bonanza uh, league, podcast league this year. I think if you're not signed up for Drag Race Bracket Bonanza, sign up there. It's free and it's easy. I'm going to talk to Elon Werner, the founder and creator, about some stuff. See when we can get him back on the show because they have an app launching and then league play and all this other stuff that's coming out. and I want to have all the correct information for you guys. So after the pro shootout this weekend, um, I'll shoot him off an email and get all the stuff. Because it's going to be super duper fun and not the same kind of stress as the F1 Fantasy League that we did last year. um, but yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out. We appreciate you guys being part of our little internet community and our little chaos land. Um, and yeah, I will see you next time. Bye, guys.